Thanks for downloading another segment from the Best of the Classic Metal Show. The Classic Metal Show is heard live on Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com. And now here's another piece of Classic Metal Show history on the Best of the Classic Metal Show.
The Classic Metal Show.
That's the Dead End Kidz from their latest release called Unfinished Business, and that's called Now or Never. And
really? I would have never guessed the title of that one after hearing it.
Well, the guy who thought to himself, God damn it, that Chris and Neely better get me on that Classic Metal Show. It's Now or Never. And on the phone with us, we got John Erigo of the Dead End Kidz. What's going on, John?
Hey, guys, what's going on? First of all, it's Erigo.
Oh, Erigo.
Yeah, you were close.
Well, it's E-R-I-G-O. It says Erigo.
Yeah, I know. It's an Italian thing. What can I tell you?
Well, we're not Italian. We're just mutts over here.
Okay. And also, just to clear things up, the Chris and Neely special thanks were in alphabetical order, not talent order.
Yeah,
supposedly.
Well, nice.
I disagree with that totally.
Well, you guys, it's like you guys interpret it however you want it. We just did it alphabetical order. So.
Well, not only does he have an exotic name, but he knows alphabetical order as well.
There you go. Wow. That's the brains of the outfit. You see that?
What do the rest of your bandmates say?
About what?
About you being the brains of the operation.
Oh, they're scared.
Well, John, we had you on the show about a year and a half ago, I believe, and you had told us you were in the process of working on this CD. It is now out, obviously, and you're obviously offering this thing out there on your MySpace, right?
Yes. We have a couple of songs up on MySpace. We're also on iTunes, and we're being added to a bunch of other digital download sites like Napster and Rhapsody. We're also on a bunch of retail sites also. It's pretty fun. You know, the response has been great, and recently we were also on a Kiss tribute CD. We did the song New York Groove, and we just added that to our MySpace page this week.
Excellent.
Well,
John, with Unfinished Business, man, it really seems like you've got a lot of different styles going on the songs. Do you guys write with a lot of different styles, or is that just how it comes out?
Well, basically, we never sit down and kind of think things out like, okay, we're going to write this type of song, and then we're going to write, the commercial song or this or that. I think the great thing about us is it's like a very cool melting pot of influences. We have our drummers really into Rush and stuff, and the guitar guys are into the blues, and I'm into metal. So it's it just all kind of comes out together. It's a very, a collaborative effort by us to try and keep things different and not just every song be kind of samey. We try and come at you from different angles, but still not go too far out of what we're doing.
Sure. Well, listening to the record, man, the thing that I think is most cool about it as a listen is the fact that you guys do showcase so many different styles. I know we addressed this before, but you've got songs that sound, very much like The Cult, but then you've got other songs like Time to Go that are just sounds like 3 shots and a beer chaser in a bar somewhere. Just that kind of rock music, man. When you guys were, as far as certainly you wrote the songs as you wrote them, but when you were trying to put it in order, did you try and put it so that it was spaced out with the songs not sounding like, a block that sounds like this and a block that sounds like that?
Yeah, definitely. Time to Go, we seemed to put that towards the end because it was a little more kind of short and punky almost, and we thought that would be good later on. And we also wanted to put we kind of approach it like a demo. You put your best foot forward. So we thought It's Now or Never was the strongest track to open with, and the song that the people heard before we had put it out that got the most response was The One, which was the song that's very cultish. So that's why we put that second, and then from there we just kind of plotted it along after that to make it to go so it's not the same thing right after each other. We kind of spaced it out, and it was it took us a little while to get it right, but we hope we did. So.
Well, John, did anybody ever tell you that you sound like Joey Belladonna when you speak?
No. I don't have the Indian headdress on either, so.
Yeah, well, we've had Joey on the show a couple of times. You sound just like him when you talk, but never.
I wish I was as successful as he was, but we'll see. You know?
Is he successful?
Huh?
Is he successful?
He was.
He was?
He was, yeah, I think so, wasn't he?
Well, he's got our pal Jack Frost playing with him, and, you can't hit a bigger home run than that.
There you go. Seven Witches, Sabotage. He was in a bunch of bands, Jack. Jack's a good guy.
Yeah, Jack's a good guy, and we hooked him up with Joey.
I know, I read that story online. It's funny, too, because a personal friend of mine is their road manager for the Belladonna, solo band.
Sure. Excellent.
So there you go.
Well,
we got connections.
That's a pretty funny story there,
that?
John. I'm screaming laughing over here.
It wasn't meant to be funny, guys. Come on.
Hey, I got one here real quick, Chris. John, do you have a day job outside of the Dead End Kids, or do you just do the Dead End Kids and spend the rest of the time on MySpace?
That's a great question. If I just lived off the Dead End Kids money, I would be on the street and I wouldn't have a phone to talk to you on. So yes, I do have a day job.
Very cool, man. Well, dude, listening to Unfinished Business, one of the things that really stands out to me, and maybe it's because I'm in the business a little bit and get to see what's going on, but it's very cool that even though you guys are basically doing this yourself with your own funds, and it's basically blood, sweat, and tears, or the record isn't coming out. You guys did not skimp at all on the overall sound. You guys got very big sound, very big production, big drum sound, big guitars. How much time and effort did you have to put in to actually capture professional sound on a personal budget?
Wow. I wish we could take credit for it, but it's actually the guy that was, behind the board for us. We happened to get hooked up with the guy, his name is Mickey James, and Mickey does all the music for the magician Chris Angel, his TV show. Mickey writes and records and produces all the music for that show. And we got hooked up through a mutual friend, and when I went down to meet Mickey to talk about, money and how much we could afford to do, he was wearing a Kiss Army shirt, so I knew right away he was like the perfect guy. And to be quite honest, what you hear on Unfinished Business is basically live. I mean, there's very, very little, punching in or overdubs, and there's not a whole bunch of, going back and redoing things. We just pretty much went in and played the songs, and Mickey just got it to sound like it sounds, and we couldn't thank him enough because we think it sounds great.
Sure. Is that a good thing or a frustrating thing? And let me spell that out before you answer it. Is it a good thing because it really makes you be on top of your game when you're in the studio, or is it a bad thing because you almost, it's on some level, and I'm sure no matter how well the record came out, I'm sure there are things that you and the band listen to and say, I would change that if we had more time and more money. So is it a good thing or a bad thing to go in and just knock it out like that?
Well, I personally, for me, I think it's a good thing because I hate when bands, go in and overdo it. Some of these guys take like a week to record a solo, in the industry, and to me that kind of like it kind of takes away from what music, especially like loud rock and roll, is supposed to be spontaneous and kind of live feeling, and like when we go into the studio, it's like when we're doing like just like the scratch tracks, I feel like that's good enough sometimes, because it captures that that energy, and that's what I like. That's the kind of stuff that I think we as a band enjoy too, is that we're able to go in and do that. And when we sit back and listen to it, aside from guitar solos, everything on that CD is like first take. I mean, I did the vocals all in one. There's no overdubbing, there's no going back and redoing stuff. It's all, that's what came out, and that's the way we like it, So if we had more time and money, yeah, there might be a few things, but I think it'd still basically be what you hear,
Well, John, so many bands today, being the state of the music industry, you know, there are no big contracts anymore, and you know, the record labels aren't out there developing artists or even looking to sign any new artists unless they can just get one big bang for the buck, just get one good song out there and, you know, basically throw the band away. You guys are out there doing what just about everybody's doing these days is, you know, making your own music, self-finance, promoting yourself, you know, and we've got the internet with the help of MySpace and CD Baby and all this other stuff to get your music out there. Is there any profit in this for you at all, or are you going broke doing this?
There's no profit yet, but you know, when you're doing it like we're doing it, it's a much slower process than like back in the day where, you know, a band would get signed and something would come out, and you know, we're trying to. There's a very grassroots approach, and I think what we need right now is, you know, we've got the CD, you know, and it looks professional. It sounds, well, at least we hope it. People think it does. It looks and sounds like a real album, you know. The next thing is just trying to get the word out beyond MySpace, because MySpace numbers sometimes, I mean, yeah, we have, you know, pretty good numbers for a band that really doesn't tour or anything, you know. We're up to like something like, you know, 40,000 listens and 19,000 friends. But sometimes even the MySpace numbers don't really reflect, you know, like people that are going to go out and necessarily buy, you know, what you're putting out. So we need help from guys like the Classic Metal Show. We need now to get some airplay outside of where we live to try and get the word out there, and maybe that'll help, you know, people to, you know, be turned on to something new and maybe eventually go to iTunes or CD Baby like you mentioned and either, you know, download it or buy the actual CD. That's what we're hoping for, you know.
So how much help do you think it would do for you, if John, if we maybe played the one on our show in Enid, Oklahoma? Do you see that as the breakthrough move?
Well, you know, every little bit helps, man. You never know who's going to be out there listening, you know. So sure, why not?
Well, John, I'm sure you're well aware that you probably see the name The Classic Metal Show all over the music news all the time. I'm sure you follow that stuff, and you know, we're an independent show, self-financed the same way as the Dead End Kidz go. So what's the secret to success here? After 13 years of beating my head into the wall to get this show out there, I'm about ready to pull the plug on it. How about you and the Dead End Kidz?
No way, man. We're going out swinging, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what it is? It's so easy today to promote yourself from your living room. You know, with the internet, you know, I find it a challenge still to try and get. You know what it is? If people were sending us messages on MySpace, you know, like, oh, you guys suck, or, you know, why don't you hang it up, you know, then maybe it would be a little discouraging.
You didn't see that one from me, did you?
Not yet. Oh. I'm sure it'll be there as soon as I get off the phone, though.
Oh, good. I disguised it good enough so you didn't realize it was me.
No, I mean, every once in a while, you know, you're going to get people. I mean, you're in the music business. You got to be bulletproof. You know, you're going to get. Not everybody's going to like what you do. But the encouraging thing for us is, you know, once the MySpace thing started to grow and grow and grow, people were sending a lot of comments, very positive. Or you know, and that was really what keeps us going. You know, if there was like no, you know, if everybody was sending us, you know, check out my Macy's coupon or whatever kind of comments, you know, those garbage things that you get. You know, then it would be a little discouraging. But to constantly have people write, you know, that they really like what they hear, you know, it kind of keeps us going and gives us hope, you know, and then we'll do what we can. You know, we're just going to keep going.
Oh, I always find it pretty positive when I always find it pretty positive when I get a comment that says I've been purchased as somebody's pet. That's always a good one.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm telling you, man, I jump up and click my heels when I get those. It's the best.
Absolutely. Well, John, real quick there, what do you want to tell the fans about the Dead End Kidz and about this new CD, Unfinished Business?
Well, basically, we are just a straight-ahead, you know, no frills, no filler, kind of no bullshit rock band, you know. If you like it loud, crank it up and listen to the Dead End Kidz. Our motto is, if it's too loud, too bad. It's that simple.
Right. Well, John, before we let you go real quick, man, I do want to address the New York Groove song that you did.
Sure.
Where can people find that, and how did you guys get picked to be on that comp?
Well, you can find it. It's on our MySpace page, and also I think Amazon sells the CD and a whole bunch of other places. It's not on iTunes, but it is available to buy. Like on BestBuy.com and places like that. Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles, the website, had run a news blast about the CD, I guess, when they were putting it together. And they had mentioned that there were a couple of slots open for unsigned bands, email, the label, blah, blah, blah. So I emailed them, I directed them to our MySpace page, and I said, look, we've been playing New York Groove for years, we like to close the show with it. What do you think? And they wrote back right away and said, yeah, definitely. So again, we got together with Mickey James again to do the production, and I think we did a really good job. I think we kicked ass on it.
Excellent, John. Well, I got to ask you a question. Do you listen much to internet radio or satellite radio or even just regular terrestrial radio? Do you listen much to that?
I thought it was celestial.
So yeah, it's celestial radio.
Now you're going to sue me for defecation of character.
Right, exactly. So do you listen to much radio programming or anything like that?
To be quite honest, no, I don't get a chance to, because according to you, I'm just a MySpace nerd. So. Well,
I mean, if you got the audio playing, you can surf MySpace all day long.
No, I actually don't listen to too much radio and very little internet radio. My iPod's got so much stuff in it that I don't even know yet that I have to get used to. That I'm usually listening to my iTunes. So unfortunately, no.
So you basically wouldn't know whether we're playing your CD or not, then.
I have ways to find out, but
but you wouldn't do it yourself.
I have ways of making you talk.
All right, well then my question is null and void because I was going to ask you something else, but never mind.
Go ahead, ask anyway.
No, I was just going to ask you if you do listen to other programming out there, what are you listening to and whose shows out there do you like?
Oh, that would be the Classic Metal Show.
Right. Well, that's the right answer. But that's the right answer. But I was just hoping maybe you'd fill us in on whatever else is out there because I know.
No, to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of time to listen to the internet radio. And the radio here where I live. You think in the biggest market in the world. I mean, I live half hour from Manhattan. You would think we'd have like the best radio stations here, but we have absolute garbage here. So it's not even worth turning the radio on. Like I said, basically I'm just listening to my iTunes whenever I do get a chance to listen. So unfortunately, I don't get a chance too much to check out, what's going on the internet radio shows.
Sure, absolutely. All right, John. Well, we appreciate you taking a few minutes and talking to us here. So why don't you tell everybody where they can pick up this Unfinished Business release?
Unfinished Business. Well, first of all, let me say thanks to you guys for sticking with us. This is, it's totally awesome that you guys take the time out to give attention to a band like us who's not even signed. We really appreciate it. As for Unfinished Business, come to our MySpace page. We're the Dead End Kids, but it's spelled with a Z at the end. Why? Because we're just that cool. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on CD Baby. Hopefully soon it'll be on Amazon. It's on Napster, Rhapsody. It's on a whole bunch. If you Google us, you can find many sites where it's available. So we hope you come and check us out.
All right, excellent, John. Well, again, we appreciate you taking a few minutes. Go out and pick up the Unfinished Business released by the Dead End Kids, an independent band out there doing what we do independently, and screw the corporate crap.
Hey, watch your language, buddy.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to censor this for the Enid show.
Right.
All right, John. Well, I thought since we mentioned your tribute there with the New York Groove, we'd end the interview with that.
That's fine by me, man. That's great. Crank it up. It's New York Groove by the Dead End Kids.
Thanks for checking out the Best of the Classic Metal Show. You can tune into the Classic Metal Show live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, exclusively at www.theclassicmetalshow.com.
The Classic Metal Show.